Adeline Rudolph's performance, saying she's perfect as the Princess of Edenia. Her suit will resemble the version from Mortal Kombat 11 with some added gold accents. We will recognize her iconic fan and can expect a very classic look in the sequel. As for Johnny Cage, the character has a unique twist that differentiates him from his game counterpart. While his jokes and dialogue were well received, but Karl Urban, as expected, didn't visually impress as the Hollywood heartthrob. It's not about Urban's acting chops. His talent in The Boys is undeniable, but rather a case of miscasting. Next to Liu Kang and Kitana, 52 years old, Urban looks a bit aged and tired, despite the film's explanation for his age difference. The plot will largely revolve around Cage and Kitana, positioning them as the main protagonists. But with the franchise's vast roster, there's concern among fans that characters like Liu Kang might. NetherRealm has made Liu the central character of the last games, yet the live-action Liu leaves much to be desired. He didn't receive the narrative attention he deserved and was relegated to the background, although his minor role was like the sequel is heading down the same path. With so many iconic fighters crammed into the adaptation, authors seem unsure where to focus. Scorpion's origin alone deserves its own spin-off to fully flesh out his motivations, so you might want to lower your expectations for Mortal Kombat 2 to avoid disappointment. There's no info on the villains from the first test screenings, at least not yet. Spots like the Temple, Pit, and even Hell, including Quan Chi and the return of Kung Lao and Kano in the sequel, hints at a possible Revenant storyline. But again, there's no word on this from the test screenings. Maybe authors rushed to include the Revenants in live action given how many characters are still underdeveloped. We'll see soon enough. Of course, take the test screening. Subscribe.